Okay. A lot of the things that I want to talk tonight about are items that I think will really put in perspective what it is that we're going through with the transition and the migration over and everything else that's happening. But I have to say first and foremost that we're the best of BioCell. We're the leaders, right? We've got to control the environment. We have to maintain control, and we have to certainly offer comfort throughout our organizations. And the way we do that is by being upfront and communicative, right? Like this webinar, like the calls that we've been doing, right? We have to, all the traveling I've done, I'm doing that specifically for a reason where I was supported by the Modere executives to in January to go and do all the trips that I'm doing to make sure that the word is getting out. This is critically important to all of us. And I'm trying to do my job, but I need my teams to do the same. What we can't have happen is us looking at the glass being half full. And I'm going to put it in perspective right now for you. There are people right now that are going through major emotional struggles in life. And I'm sorry to do this to Mary and Drew, but I know that the Somervilles just buried their brother this weekend, right? These are major issues, right? So we have to prioritize. We have to be clear and understanding of what it is from a priority perspective we're going through, right? And here they are. They're on the webinar today. They're here, right? So my message today is and I kind of knew that they would be, but my message today is let's prioritize this. The reason I started off with some aloha music going in the background is that there are people right now sipping on Mai Tais throughout the Hawaiian Islands that have overcome work-related issues, that have overcome network marketing blues or transitions or whatever. There are people that are, so my point is, this is soon to be a distant memory. Okay, but how we manage through this is completely up to us. It's a decision that we get to make. Are we going to manage this transition properly and effectively as leaders? Are we going to make sure that we're offering comfort and communication to our teams that this will soon be a distant memory, right? It's what we have to do because it will be. It's going to be a memory. And what we must do is truly elevate ourselves to a position where the glass is always half full. It has to be. Otherwise, you're part of the masses, as I talk about, right? Anybody can kick around problems, right? But where's the solutions come from? It comes from the elite. It comes from the extraordinary. Those that refuse to be ordinary, that recognize that by doing a little bit extra, right? And understanding that the glass is half full and not empty elevates us out of the mass, out of the masses and into the extraordinary, right? So it's a mindset. Okay, so some of the things that I want us all to consider is that the company has tripled the customer service team, tripled. They've had to dig up the front yard and bring more phone lines in, literally, because it's maxed out. Now, all of the growth that they've experienced in January and February and now March with us is unprecedented in the history of this company being 30 years old. Unprecedented growth. So does that not lean itself towards us being excited and yet also sympathetic to what's going on with the company? You know, if you were in Orlando, I'm sorry, I get going and my throat gives up on me. But when we were all in Orlando, did you not hear me say that it's a partnership between the field and the corporate office? Yes. Did you folks hear me say that when I had the chance to speak at Rice Enterprise? Okay, so it is a partnership, right? And if you have teammates that are upset, right? It's your job as a leader to qualify their issue and help them resolve it, but also giving them a message that, hey, this is soon going to be a memory, and that we can't publicly do what some have done, right? By coming unglued. And that's not fair to us as leaders. It's not fair to the company, certainly, because they're doing their job. And they are stepping up and in as quickly as they possibly can. Guys, I get emails from some of the team back in Utah that's 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, my time, which means it's 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, their time, right? So they're working as hard as they possibly can, because can we all agree that they want us to be as successful as we can possibly be? Is that not a very simple understanding that, of course, they want this, right? Of course, they're working to help us and help the company, right? So all of the issues that we have experienced are going to be a memory soon. So the big picture benefits are that Ozma could have sold BioCell to anybody outside of this industry, and there would be no webinar tonight. There would be nothing to be frustrated about. As I also said in Orlando, what we have to do is rise above the static and represent strong on behalf of Modere, our company, its leaders, the executive team, everybody in customer support, to our teams, that this is soon to be a distant memory, and one that we'll look back on and say, you know what, it's kind of self-imposed. And I'm going to tell you why. As leaders, we all met with some of the executives in Dallas that first week when we got the news at their annual event. And it was originally scheduled for May 1st, that they were going to try and get it to April 1st for this transition. And we all asked, we all did. We wanted it up and running immediately, because we could see that our teams were on standby, because nobody really understood what was happening, what was going on. And everybody was waiting on this promo code that we all heard about that was going to accelerate the business, right? Can we all relate to that? Do you remember back a brief 5 weeks ago when that was what we were all doing, right? The business was stalled because everybody was in anticipation of. Now imagine that it's stalled, but it's stalled for another 7 weeks from now until May 1st. So do you see why we accelerated in our request to the corporate team that if they could get us migrated over by March 1st, that would be amazing, heroic, nothing less than a spectacular performance of support, right? So what we have to do is recognize that there may be some shortcomings in some issues, but by and large, we're open for business. Okay, and what I want you guys to do is, if you're having trouble signing people up, I had specifically asked the corporate office last week for new social marketer applications that are now in your back office on shifting retail. Okay, they're there. The new customer app was done, but I felt we needed one thing that was missing that they're altering, and they're going to have it back probably today, tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. I'm not sure, but they're working on that also. What I'm going to suggest that you all do is get the forms from the back office. Yes, there's one in the back office, Kathy, for the customer, but if you notice, there's no place for a referral code, right, or for a social marketer's name, so I had them add that. Okay, so print those out, have those, use those, okay, and then what you could do is you could take pictures of them and email them in to support@modere.com and service@modere.com, whichever one you feel is more appropriate, or you can call them in. Okay, but let's not look for a problem. Let's identify what the solution might be. And I think that these forms that we've all used for years anyway are going to be a valuable tool. Would you guys agree with that? Okay, so by understanding that we're doing our part with the company, we're helping the company by helping ourselves, right? That to me is what a true partnership is not sitting back and pointing the fingers and being upset that the whole times are what they are. You know, it's going to get better, okay? It's simply going to get better. And you know it is, because it has to, and they've already stepped up and they're stepping in, okay? So the merger, the transition, all of that will soon be a distant memory. Big picture benefits. Ozma could have sold to a company outside of this industry where we would have no business, no IREPs, no social marketers, no customers, and no webinar. And I know that you'd probably be missing my smiling face today. Okay, so all things pointing back to thanking Ozma for being as considerate and certainly generous to all of us in solidifying our families' financial legacies. What's the alternative, folks? What's the alternative to doing what we have to do in supporting our teams, right, and calming the waters? What's the alternative, right? I refuse to be part of the problem. I won't do it. What I will be is part of the solution. And I'm asking you for your help with all of that. Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit about customers, social media. We know that is a huge player in the social retail model, social media. We know it is. Okay. I do not want anybody to get overwhelmed with lack of experience, lack of understanding, lack of integration into it. I don't want you to do that. I can tell you that Liz Malone and Dr. Sherry are taking very aggressive positions in the Ohio markets in Cleveland and educating. And they had a class today on educating on social media. Okay, what I want you to remember is we built our business belly to belly, face to face. Okay, so from a business perspective, right, people join people. They don't join products when they're looking at a business. Right, so I want you to take great solace in knowing that the way we built it is not wrong. I personally believe it's sustainable because the relationships, I mean, look at some of the people that are here today. You are now my family as a result of this business. So while I say that, and I mean that thoroughly, and you guys know me, you know me well, right? That I'm not saying at any point should we step back and away from social media, not at all. What we have to do is put one foot into the 21st century, and me too. Me too. Okay, so we all have to do this. Okay, what we have to do is understand that, tweaking it slightly, right? And allowing it to expand maybe your pod, right? While qualifying some people that might be business prospects is wonderful. But we're not going to lose focus of what built our business. And nor does the company want us to. Okay, so big point here is social media, huge asset. But don't let it be a huge problem. Allow it to happen over time. Or get in there. If you're like me and you want to roll up your sleeves and get in it, get in it. Understand it, learn it. But what I'm telling you is that it's not the end all be all. It's certainly a wonderful addition to, but it's not the only way to do this, as we've proven, right, for 7 years now. Okay, so does that give anybody any level of comfort in knowing that social media is an absolute benefit, but it's not something that should be overwhelming you or causing you grief or concern or overwhelmed, feeling overwhelmed, right? We have to. Okay, we have to do that. Hold on, flipping to page 2. Yes, there is a page 2. Okay. Actually, I went over most of page 2. How lucky are you guys? I did. I went over all of it already. I got ahead of myself. Okay. So now we have a couple of people have reached out to me and real basic understandings of the websites. You don't have to go to your self-replicated site at Shifting Retail to log in. You can go to shiftingretail.com and log in with your email address and your password. Does everybody understand that? Thank you, guys. I just read that. Okay, so you don't have to go to, bazooka dot, right, in my case, Shifting Retail to log in. Just go to shiftingretail.com, choose login in the upper right-hand corner, okay, and then enter your email address and your password that you used at Jasur. That's it. It's that simple. Okay, and the same with Modere. Okay, Modere, it's all now that you've migrated over, is you're going to use your email address as the username for the login, and then the password that you've had. Okay, so and I can tell you that I've had some challenges in the back office. I've emailed support. Okay, they're working on them, and again, it's issues that we're not going to be dealing with for long. Can I get everybody's commitment? Can I get your commitment that we're going to be the solution and that we're going to really support and help our teams to calm those waters, right? We have to do this, guys, because this is a temporary blip, right? This is only a speed bump. I know we all want to run and we want to run hard, and we will shortly, okay? And it could be, any day. It could be today. It could be tomorrow. But the point is that We've got to be the face of success. We've got to be the face of solutions. And that's what leadership does, right? We're not making it up. We're not creating a sweet lullaby to buy time. What we're doing is we're saying the facts. This has been a huge transition. The company did it 60 days earlier than they suggested doing, but we pushed them. And now we have a little bit of the ramifications of our insistence and their willingness. And again, I think that it's huge benefit, because if we were all sitting by right now, still Jasura, waiting until May 1st, and you're watching all these Facebook posts about all the growth, wouldn't you just be like crazy, right? Pulling your hair out, right? When are we going to be able to jump in? Right? All of that could have been disastrous. So what we have to do is we have to recognize that we have the strength, the experience, and certainly the care for our teams, right? That belly-to-belly business result of caring for our people. We have that. It's our relationships. We have to protect them, communicate with them, offer them help and a solution while minimizing the drama, because there's quite a bit out there, okay? Let's see. Page 3. Let's see, this Thursday, Tony Zalecki, who I've not met, I've seen him from stage. What a dynamic speaker. He and his wife, Sarah, incredible leaders with Modere, our company. He's coming to Newport Beach, and we're going to have lunch on Thursday. Then we're going to do the meeting at the Modere building. Okay, so what I would encourage you all to do, if you have teams here, prospects here, anywhere from LA, San Bernardino, down to San Diego, invite them up. Certainly, if they're in Orange County, Riverside, San Bernardino, Long Beach area, certainly you want to get them there. Okay? Any idea when BioCell M3 going to be available in Europe? No. But I can tell you that we've talked about, by the end of the year, thank you, Dr. Sherry, BioCell being in all countries that Modere operates in. And I can also tell you that working on, I just got a text that it looks like they're working on a larger offering of BioCell in Japan, and I'll know before the weekend if that's going to happen, okay? From what I understand, Sherry, yes, it was Australia and Japan would be first, but we will see exactly what comes out over the course of this week. There's so many moving parts and pieces. I really hope that everybody is really saying, being thankful for everything that is going on in Springville. Because I kind of feel guilty that I'm here and that I couldn't be going over there to help them right now in any way that they could identify, needing hands, doing something, right? So please be generous with your thoughts and grateful for where we are. And yes, it absolutely will be. Now, what I want you also to consider is some of the things that we've always done don't change. Okay, what I want you to consider is certainly we have the promo code to share for product for customers, no question. And also social marketers. They're going to save $10 on their first order also, right? What I want you to consider is, knowing that we have such a vast array of products now, is who is it from a business perspective that might understand the value of partnering with us in 30 countries, right? Because here's what I've boiled it down to, is basically a 4-point element of discussion for those that might be interested in the business. Our company, Modere, has become so out front, ahead of the FTC, and causing other companies, leaders, to flock from them to us by being so visionary in their thought process 4 years ago, before the Herbalife issue, before VIMA, before all of those things even happened. They were out front, already recognizing that the social retail model that would take the e-commerce platform with social media, creating a social retail environment that would become the disruptive element of our industry. Then, on top of that, as if that wasn't enough, they bought the company that had the single best product ever in this industry that every single person, man, woman, and child, will benefit from, especially those of us as baby boomers that want to look and feel our best, patented globally. Right, so these are wonderful talking points. So who is it that we know that could benefit from partnering with, sorry, itch on my ankle, sorry, that could benefit with a partnership with entrepreneurs and medical doctors that see the value of what this company has done in creating a disruptive element, like what Netflix did to Blockbuster, what Uber's done to the taxi business, right? Who is it that can see the value of that, the benefit of that? And that's what I want you to make a list on. Who is it that we know, right? That doesn't change. And the reason specifically that, I don't have one in front of me, my business cards, on the front has my business information, and on the back, if they say no to the business, I can offer them $10 off with no minimum purchase required on one of our incredible, affordable, luxury lifestyle, clean living products. Okay, so what is it that you can do? Make a new list. Make an international list. Make a list of those you know who go international all the time that might have friends and family internationally, right? And invite them in so that they can benefit from their friends and family that live internationally, right? We can either be, as I said earlier, you can be part of the problem or part of the solution. This is not necessarily the same statement because it's not really a problem, but it can be part of the growth or it can be part of the stagnation, right? Get out of your own way. Who is it that would understand the value of a private equity fund worth $2.3 billion purchasing Jasura International because our biocell product is off the chart, and the entrepreneurs and medical doctors that have built Jasura International are now partnered with the company in 30 countries whose products are identified as trend setting, global trend setting. Everybody wants to live clean, even those of us that may not eat clean, right? It's a very selfish way of participating in a clean lifestyle by simply replacing products that aren't clean with products that are, right? You see how easy that is, right? We can get so many people that we know that may not have cared about or participated in a cleaner lifestyle, the opportunity to simply enjoy a cleaner lifestyle by replacing the products that they've always used. So now it's not even a discipline. It's not even an effort, right? It's brushing your teeth and reaching for the blue tube instead of the white and blue and red one, right? Making sure the shampoo is in the shower, the bar of soap, right? The laundry detergent, the dish soap, right? All of those things that we can easily replace allows for those that have never been disciplined in a cleaner lifestyle to participate now in a cleaner lifestyle, right? And yeah, there you go, Kathy. You can always do that too, right? I did years ago. I went back and called everybody that I had done this wrong with, right? What if you went through your organization and just started calling the people that said yes once upon a time? That was the hardest yes, right? To get them to join. Well, now that they're here, maybe what you can do is at least invite them to take another look or become a customer, right? I don't know, but it's something. I mean, it's like when people tell me, Mike, I got nobody else to call. I go, what about the 100 people, the 80 people that are on your team now? How about we call them, right? Help them. They said yes to somebody once upon a time, right? And we should always take it to heart that we're going to value, respect that yes, and help them get what they came for, even if their sponsor didn't, right? It's how we change this industry, one person at a time, by caring, by simply caring. And you know, I can't be happier where we are, guys. And you know what? I know that things have been difficult right now for the last almost 3 weeks. It's been difficult. You're right. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but I am going to tell you it's for a better good. Do you realize if we all lock arms and refuse to accept anything other than success, that we'll be open and available in 30 countries that we weren't in 3 weeks ago? And we can have expansive growth, incredible income disclaimers or testimonials as a result. So the reason I had the Aloha music going wasn't just for Auntie Laura Awana Lewis, who I love so much. I'm so glad you're here. But it was also because I want you to know that there are people sipping Mai Tais right now that got through hard times. There are people like the Somerville family that are going through emotionally difficult times. Those are trying times. That's really trying times, right? And it's like when I see the landscaper show up at my house, that's work, right? That's work. So if we're not picking up the phone and making calls, if we're not making lists, right? How much easier of labor can we possibly have? That's why the hardest part of this business is the 6 inches between the ears. Are you going to do today what you know you must? And if you do, you'll be able to do tomorrow what others can't that refuse to do today what they must. So what I'm encouraging you to do is be the message, strong and firm, that we have partnered with an exceptional company that's working their butt off tirelessly to bring us all online as quickly as possible. It benefits them to do that. Okay, I want you to recognize that and remember that. Okay, we are partnered with an exceptional company that's leading the way in our industry with trend-setting philosophical beliefs, lifestyles, and products to support it that we all get to benefit from in 30 countries. Guys, I don't know, man, but Ray Charles can see that there's no downside to this. We just have to control ourselves, help our teams, support what they need to get to where they need to go while maintaining a level of decorum and making sure that we're all supportive of the partnership that Springville is offering us. Gabish? Does that make sense? All right, guys. Well, I've got a lot more to say, but I'm not going to say it tonight. I know that we're on a clear path for incredible success. My goal is in 6 months, everybody's check doubles. 6 months, everybody's check doubles. Our volume will double. We just have to stay focused, committed, disciplined, and actually labor, work to achieve those results, and then set the tone, showing our teams that we're willing to work, call them out to work, help them to get to where they need to be, show them how to work, show them the easiest practices that yield the best results, which has always been a goal of mine. Thank you all. Appreciate you all so much. And Wednesday, I haven't confirmed with Dr. Kathy, but I guess I'll kind of mention it right now. Our live webinar, I have, those of you that have been at some of the meetings I've been doing around the country, the presentation that I did, I've had some great feedback from some of the leaders. I've implemented changes. We've, those that had change requests, we've gone back and forth and everything is good. So I've sent it off to Modere to have it marketed perfectly. So all the slides look wonderful, presentable. And that's what I'm hoping that I'll have by Wednesday for our webinar with Dr. Kathy and I live at 7:15 p.m. Eastern. So bring your best and brightest. Get an in-home going, right? Invite your people for 6:45, 7:15 Eastern, we go live. All you need is samples, applications, a couple of testimonials, right? But get to yes. Ask them, what was it that intrigued them the most? Was it the business, the products, or perhaps both? Don't say, what did you think? Okay? Steer the conversation. Direct traffic. Thanks, everybody.